Huh, you're a real hooker, and I'm gonna slap you in public.
You have way too much pubic hair.
Actually, that's a point of pride. I'm very proud of my mane of pubic hair, so...
Hello and welcome to another issue of the Headless Hammerhead Guide to Comics and More. Today we're going to be reviewing the Lancer role-playing game and the stages of a mission. So we're not going to waste any time, we're going to get right to it. Let's go! In the Lancer role-playing game, generally the mech pilots are not wealthy enough to have mechs on their own like Iron Man in Marvel. So generally you're going to be working as a team for somebody else, whether that is the Union, which basically controls the whole universe, galaxies and everything, or for a private employer, a company, corporation, etc. And they will be granting you missions. So the normal mission sequence begins with a briefing. During this briefing, you're going to be discussing what is going on, why it is you're being hired for this mission, what has triggered the need for Lancers, and then you're going to discuss the goal for the mission. So what are you hoping to accomplish once you deploy the Lancers with their mechs? And this would determine, achieving your goal or not, would determine whether the mission is a success or a failure. So the purpose of the briefing is to keep your players focused on what the mission is so that they don't go on sidetracks, and to establish expectations, both with the GM and with each other, so that gameplay can flow smoothly. It also helps establish what the goal is so that you know when the end of the mission has come. Now, stages 2 and 3 are very similar, and I grouped them together in the adventures that I'm writing, the campaign that I'm writing. So stage 2 is preparation, stage 3 is reserve, so I combine them to preparation and reserves. And this is where the characters would be building their mechs, choosing what weapon systems they want to install in their mechs for the upcoming mission. And they find any gear for the pilot that the pilot would need on an upcoming mission, whether that's, say, body armor, or a first aid kit, or even like a camouflage blanket that they can throw on themselves if their mech breaks down and they need to jump out of the mech, eject out of the mech. And also for information reserves, so that's where they go out into the city and speak with their contacts to get information. Say they're going to be infiltrating a thieves guild, then they speak to their underground contacts, their black market contacts, and get information about this thieves guild, who their leader is, what their modus operandi is, etc. This is also where they'll have an opportunity to up their skills, to learn new talents and things like that. They take a karate class, for example, during their downtime right before the mission, and boost, their hand-to-hand combat skills, as an example.
Let's just see if there's anything missing. Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that, Private Pile?
Sir, jelly donuts, sir!
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but if you're liking this video, please hit that like button, the thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot, and also make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you. Stage 4, we're looking at boots on the ground. And now this is the action part of the mission. This is where all the action takes place, and we have combat, we have important decisions, we have generally what will determine whether the mission is a success or failure is what takes place during Boots on the Ground. Boots on the Ground is designed in Lancer to be where it cuts from preparation reserves directly to the center of the action. So if you compare it to, say, Marvel or to a comic book, preparation and reserves is where Spider-Man puts on his suit, and Boots on the Ground is where it cuts right to where Doc Ock is in the middle of the bank, ripping out the vault, taking out the bags of money, and Spider-Man just appears and says a quirky remark, "Hey Doc, you'd be better off chasing an old bag," or something like that. And then they battle it out. But that's not to say that Boots on the Ground is just hack and slash. So I'm going to go over one of my adventures at the end of this video, just so you can see what the 4 stages would look like in an actual adventure. And then the final stage is ending the mission and debrief. And this is where, once you've determined whether the mission was a success or failure, there's either going to be a formal or an informal debrief, whether it's with a commanding officer or the boss of the Lancers, whatever it may be, or it could be just informal between the players, where they have a roundtable discussion of what went well and what could have been done better, so that on the next mission they can improve and do it a lot better than they've done it on this mission. And Lancer is designed where each mission is one level. So unlike Marvel, where you can stay on the same rank for the entire campaign, Lancer, you're supposed to rank up after each mission. Now, each mission doesn't have to be one session. It could run several sessions, where one mission has several subsections or several parts, and then you rank up at the end. But generally, you're given an advancement in rank by your commanding officer, your boss, whatever, and then you gain access to more mechs, more weapon systems, things like that. So this is where you would level up your license and become a higher rank, and of course learn from your mistakes. Now stick around, I'm going to narrate a very short mission so that you can see what the stages look like. Hello Reality TV presents
Make no mistake.
the game show where a regular person like you can become a Lancer. 6 winners will be granted licenses to become Lancers for the Pathos Union. They will have to win several contests, trials, and tribulations to win the coveted title. The contestants have trained to bring their bodies to peak performance conditions. And they have selected their mech units for the competition. As they overcome obstacles, including other mechs who want the same trophy, they win status and glory as Lancers. And after a hard-fought victory, our champions meet for drinks at the local pub to discuss how things went and what they will do in the future to survive.